Had to cut my way up out them trenches just to be specific. I had to get it how I live, now I just live to get it. Making history with them clippers cause it was written. Blessing essences with my presence because I'm gifted. Cut my way out. I had to cut my way out. Let's talk about it, hey, let me tell you how I cut my way out. Watch me cut my way out. It's the coldest podcast in the game.
Yes, sir.
What's good with
What's
it?
up?
Yes, what's going on?
Trying to look cool for y'all brothers. You know what I'm saying?
You making it happen.
That's the 40 and over hat. That's how you know when you're over 40, when you got the EPMD or the fisherman hat.
Absolutely. Hey, I'm right there with you,
yes,
bro.
Sir.
So what's good, man? How you doing?
Oh man, great, man. Just real good. I know a lot of people say it, but I'm feeling good right now.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. It's a pleasure to have you on. Pleasure for you to be willing to come on short notice. I know you and Shy, my brother Shy, y'all was conversating. Yeah. So man, we greatly appreciate it. Yeah. So man, we're gonna jump right off into this thing. Man, I've been watching you, man, watching some things, just trying to do a little research. Of course, I'm definitely familiar with you, but I want to come up to speed. Shy may know a little more about you, man, but for our people that's viewing, man, give us a short bio as we jump off into this thing and tell us who the Garrett Dixon is, man.
The most handsome man on this platform right now. I'll say, man, I'm a lover of life. I like making people laugh, and I love cutting hair. And those are the two things that I'm very, very passionate about. So with those two things, I've developed something. I can't say just but my boys and I, from the old barbershop, developed something that was very magical in the barber community. We started doing funny barbershop videos in 2015. And as of now, got over 100 million views on YouTube. And it was just something we started off having fun with. And then next thing you know, the whole barber community loved it and was following the videos and liked our work, and I was able to capitalize that and be on 50 Cent's show, be in different TV shows, commercials, develop my own product, men's grooming hair product line, successful YouTube page, and just having fun in the industry and loving what I do.
That's what's up. So you're based in California. Is that where you're originally from?
No, I'm originally from Prince George's County, Maryland, the DMV. Okay. So I'm from Prince George's County, Maryland. Okay. And I moved out to LA back in 2002. So I've been out here a long time.
Okay. So kind of
to pursue barbering?
Yeah.
No. Pursue like doing stand-up comedy and acting. So I was fortunate to do that. Okay. Fortunate to be on the road with Tony Rock. I don't know if y'all know Tony Rock. I was on the road with him for 4 years. That's one of my closest friends out here to this day.
Okay.
We was just texting each other about an hour ago.
Okay.
But I was on the road with him for 4 years, just in the trenches of all the comedy clubs, been able to basically see the world through comedy. Wow. And then doing that, and then about 2019 is when I started my men's hair grooming product line.
Okay.
So I still do comedy, but I put more of my focus on the product line because entertainment is great and it's dope and it's fun. But it was like, man, sometimes you got to sit back and say, what is my calling? You know what I mean? And so it was like one of the things where, with my men's hair grooming product line, I wanted to be something that when I first started cutting hair, we had like the Murray's and like just the regular hair grease. I remember it was just called hair food. Girl. I don't even know the name. It was that yellow stuff. Right. Like, and so when you see the Murray's and hair food and you look at like, you know, like I said, I'm over 40. So when you look at products that we grew up on and then you start to look back and it's like, oh, snap, there's old school products, Johnson & Johnson. I want Dixon 1737 to be that for this generation that's out now. So for me, it was about the longevity and something that I love doing. And I can always tell jokes and I get on stage and make people laugh, but it's like, it's a legacy.
Okay.
is creating that legacy in the hair life.
That's what's up.
So I would love to ask you a question about what is Dixon 17 who?
37.
1737. So it's Dix. I started off cutting hair at 12 years old. 1737 Albert Drive is where I grew up. That was the house that I grew up in. So I took it back to the basics, went full circle, and that's why it's Dixon 1737 for the 1737 Albert Drive.
I love that. Okay. Love that. With Dixon 1737, considering that you're somebody who's made a lot of waves in the barbering industry, right? And you've made, it sounds like, very, very substantial connections and understanding of how to, obviously, with those connections, you got to know how to be in a room, right? A lot of people don't know how to be in a room.
Yeah.
They don't know how and when to allow their personalities to appropriately be seen in a room. It seems like you got that down pat. Right. So what I do want to know, though, is what things are you doing to make Dixon 1738?
37.
What things are you doing to make it that product that lasts, because those products you talk about been around for generations.
Yeah.
What things are you doing to make yours stand out as such and be around for generations?
Well, the number one thing is, in order to be around for generations, you got to be in stores. You got to be in stores. Like, I mean, we got stuff online now and everything, and that's all cool. That's all fine and dandy, and that's great. But now it's all about being in stores where people can go pick it up, and they can get it online as well. I mean, that's good too. But my focus now, like for this next coming year, is, and I got some things going on, is to get it in stores. Okay. So for me, I feel like when I get it in stores, then that's something that, because it's all a process. Right. It don't just happen overnight. So for me to be those products that I mentioned, I have to go through levels and different steps. Right. And right now I'm on the steps of online. People they'll look at YouTube, follow my YouTube video, and they'll order online, or they'll see it from Instagram or Facebook. They'll see it online. But that's where I am now. But now the next level is to get it in stores. So to answer your question, for me, it would be to get it in stores where they can go and touch it. Okay. Like you can go see it. Okay.
I love that. I love that because it's definitely something that it sounds like from where you come with it, it represents something. Especially be it that you've tied it to the Dixon 1737, which is really your origin story, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I use those words very specifically, right? I'm a big believer that people use words for reasons. No one is just saying stuff just randomly. Pay attention to what people say because word choice is deliberate, right?
Yes. Right.
I use those words deliberately because as a consumer, right, I love to consume a story versus consuming a product.
Yep.
I would love to know more about that origin story, man. What was it like at 1737? What made it stand out so much that you named a whole product line?
Yeah.
Sell me a story.
Yeah. The story was a 12-year-old boy that watched his older brother cut hair, who was 4 years older than him, watched his brother cut his hair, and thought he was cutting hair good himself, and it was a bowl cut at the age of 12. You know what I'm saying? It was I thought a perfect bowl was a dope fade.
It was a good cut.
It was a good cut. And then next thing you know, it was like, hey man, these levers on the side, that's how young in the game. I didn't even move the levers. And I said, hey man, let me move the levers. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, whoa, this is kind of blending. This is whoa. And then next thing you know, at 12 years old, then I start blending my hair. And at that age, you go outside and you tell your friends, I cut hair down. Right. And then next thing Marcus, Reggie, Daryl, rest in peace, they all start letting me cut their hair. So that 12-year-old 8th grader was the dude that started with just 3 clients. Okay. Then you go to high school. Now you go to high school, 9th, 10th grade, 11th grade. Now you're getting people, your reputation is growing. You're playing sports, but I was the dude, I was the basketball/barber. Okay. So I'm the dude that's cutting everybody's hair in high school. Like they did an article about me and everything where people thought I actually owned a real barbershop. And I was the dude back in high school, was handing out business cards and everything. I'm talking about like on Saturdays, I'm cutting 20 to 25 heads on a Saturday. And then during the week, I'm cutting people throughout the week when I didn't have basketball practice. Right. So you go from this 9th grader who's starting to get business still by 11th grade is cutting everybody and just love hair, just love making people feel good. Then you go to college. You go to college, you get a business degree, and you're cutting hair on the weekends at 18 years old. I started working at a barbershop.
Okay.
So now I'm working at the barbershop on the weekends, going to college. After college, get my job in corporate America. Now I'm with the white folks in corporate from Monday, put it this way, from Monday through Friday, I was drinking Budweiser. On the weekends, I'm drinking Hennessy. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. Because Monday through Friday, I'm working with the white folks in corporate America. And on the weekend, I'm with my homies in the barbershop and going out with them. So Monday through Friday, Budweiser, weekend, Hennessy. So then you got that. You're getting the best of both worlds. That's why I'm glad I had that corporate experience, because I'm a little bit different from some of the other barbers, because with that corporate background and understanding that, and it gave me the best of both worlds, to be honest with you. So then, you know, you do that, you start doing comedy, and you're doing entertainment all the way. Then you move to California, doing comedy, entertainment, but cutting hair still. Cutting hair was the focus. Cutting hair was the thing that I loved. And go ahead, you seem like you had a question.
Man, because you put something out there that just rocked me, and I know a whole bunch of people caught it and it rocked them too. You were already establishing your barbering superiority, right?
Yeah.
In high school, well, actually before high school, from what you say, you was already kind of practicing the craft. Got into high school, you had it honed in enough where you were averaging, you said, around 20, 25 heads after school, right? You cutting all the, and you hooping, which means you was popular, because if you hoop, if you're an athlete, everybody out there wants you to know something. If you hoop, you're an athlete, or you know how to fight, you're gonna be popular in the hood.
Hey, but real quick, let me. I was a popular bench rider.
Okay.
So, I was a popular bench rider. Like, I was a dude, like my 12th grade year, because they used to get mad at the coach and would have signs, put Garrick in the game, because I'm cutting I'm cutting dudes on the team that scored 20 points. I'm making them look good, and I'm cheering for it. And I'm like, man, like I'm like, at least I'm out there on the court a little bit. So, you know what I'm saying? So I was a popular bench rider. I'll say that.
Okay, well,
Hey, at least you.
Yeah.
I was saying at least he honest. But you the man if you got the Clippers, though. Even though you might not be on the court, you still the man.
And
Absolutely.
That's the point I'm trying to make, right? You already establishing yourself. At that point, 20, 25 heads, even now, 20, 25 heads a day is established. That's an established barber.
Absolutely.
Right? So you're an established barber, you hooping, right? People know you hooping, right?
Right.
So boom. You go from that, graduating school. I want to talk more about that area where you chose to still get a corporate America job, because most people from that kind of situation, they're already making significant amount of money, where going into the job market is you know, it wouldn't be an option.
Right.
So I would love to know what gathered that decision, or did anybody help encourage
No,
that?
I got the answer for you. Seeing white people. So look, my father owned a transmission shop, right? My father owned a transmission shop in DC. So we would go down to Georgetown sometimes to drop the cars off. And when I would go with my father to drop the cars off, I would see the white dudes in suits and those trench coats in the cases. Right. You know, the briefcases.
Briefcases, right.
And I thought, yo, man, I thought that looked so cool, man. Right. Like, you know, because my dad, like I said, he had a transmission shop, so he was a blue collar worker. So, but I was like, man, I want to be that. Right. Like, I want to put on that damn suit. I want that trench coat. I want that briefcase. I want that. So I went to college and I majored in business management with concentration in human resources. Okay. I was one of the few dudes at the college. I had my job lined up because I went to like the career development program and all that stuff. So I was hired. I had my job lined up 2 weeks before I graduated. So I just needed a week off, and then I went to work in corporate America. So it was wanting to be that dude in the suit and tie and that damn trench coat and the briefcase. And I became that dude. The only thing I didn't anticipate, we had to shave our facial hair. So now, so I'm the dude. I'm the dude that's looking like the sellout. I'm with all white people with no facial hair. and then we go to happy hour or to lunch, and then I see a group of black people. I'm like, hey man, I'm really one of y'all too, but I'm laughing with them and everything. They're like, look at this little sellout motherfucker. I'm like, nah, y'all really don't know I'm one of y'all, but I'm just playing a role right now to get this money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was that dude, and then I was doing cutting hair the weekends and doing a little bit of stand-up comedy, and then it was like, you know, like I said, it was the best of both worlds. But then got another job, still working in corporate America, but like 2000, what was it? 2000 was when I started like really taking comedy serious.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying like going to open mics and doing shows, like about 3 shows a week. Okay. And then it was like I started doing that for about a year, and I was like, you know, before I have kids or anything, let me move to Los Angeles. Okay. Right. I want to move to Los Angeles to pursue this thing. So I had the corporate job making good money. Like in 2002, I was making $77,000 a year plus bonuses. Okay. In 2002. Right. And so it was like, I sat in my office and I was like, I could do this forever, right, but I don't want to look back at my life and say I didn't give it a shot. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to take that risk. I was like, bro, before I have kids or get married or anything, I'm going to California. And I haven't regretted it since, bro. I haven't regretted it since. And when I came out here, because I knew, I'm like this, and this is for anybody watching this. I'm not a scrub. Like I was like, I wasn't a scrub at home. So, you know, a lot of people be afraid to move. Like California, that's a big city, or New York, whatever. And I'm like, bro, I don't give a damn. If you ain't a scrub in your hometown, you won't be a scrub wherever you are. It's just more people. Right. That's all it is. Right. It's just more people. And shout out, what up, Will? It's just more people in Los Angeles than in Maryland. So I wasn't a scrub there, and I made my way. So I knew I'll do the same thing out in California. Okay. I just, for me, it was just, that's what it was.
So how was that transition? We talk, a lot of people, and that's a big move, especially during that time. So how was that transition? Was part of your plan at that time, even though you were chasing the comedy realm, was part of the plan to go out there to cut hair while you were trying to chase the comedy as well?
Before
go ahead.
Before you go through that transition, because I do want to hear that. I don't want to leave out. It's a lot of meat and potatoes that you're putting out right now. I just make sure that everybody is hearing it. Although you can always go back, you can go follow the I Cut My Way Out podcast, and you can go and follow us on YouTube, and you can rewatch this episode in its entirety, and you can catch whatever you didn't catch. But what I want to do, put big emphasis on, right? Okay. Something you spoke of that speaks to me personally, and I think it speaks to a lot of people who may be watching. Barbering is a career choice, right? We all made this career choice to pursue this journey and take it where it's gonna go, whatever doors it's gonna open. We're gonna lean into those doors. We're gonna at least peek into the doorways to see what's on the other side of the opportunities, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing that stuck out the most to me, what you said was, at that point in your life, you had already captured barbering, right? But you also had a desire to seek other things in comedy as well as corporate America and pursuing that of what you saw when you was a little boy. Mm-hmm. A lot of barbers in this industry, a lot of stylists in this industry they're brought to barbering through a whole lot of different ways, right? Prison, the streets, family members, barbers. They're brought into this industry of various different ways, but they still have desires burning within them that they never pursued because they got to barbering, and barbering was so fruitful that it can sometimes lull you to sleep on the other desires that you may have within you. You'll get so comfortable and in a way complacent with barbering and its financial providings for you that you no longer seek those other things. It's like, well, why would I walk away from this when it's been so bountiful for me? I want you to take, if you have that feeling, if you somebody who does possess that desire within inside, and you feel something is unfulfilled, something is unresolved in yourself, I want you to take a page from Garrett's story. Sit down and think about it, because sometimes it's no more than just figuring out a productive, mature way of approaching it, and you don't have to leave one thing on the table to pursue another. You can do them both. Yep. It's very possible, especially in this day and age. It's extremely possible. I wanted to put a point on that. So go back to it. We want to know about the transition and everything. I just didn't want people to miss that jewel because that's a big jewel.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
so your transition, let's talk a little bit about that. You know, your transition, you going out there to cut hair and chase the comedy realm at the same time. So kind of tell us about that process.
Okay, so, man, man, honestly, bro, like I feel like I was blessed, like, because I moved out here with $10,000, right? I had 10,000, so I said, I'm not going to work for the first 3 months.
Okay.
I'm not going to work. I'm gonna just get to know LA. I'm gonna go to the comedy clubs. Hey, I end up going to clubs. You know, it's LA, and the LA women look different than the women in Maryland. I tell you that. It's a lot of different races. You know, like I've been all around the world without being around the world. You know what I'm saying? So I was having fun out here, but I'm handling my business, going to comedy clubs, and then next thing you know, I think I got down to about like $6,000, and I was like, okay, I don't want to lose all my money. Let me start to look for a job, and I'm glad I didn't get it. I actually went to a place to get a job as a recruiter, as a technical recruiter, because that was some of the stuff I did before. But I didn't get hired for that job, and I knew it was a barbershop near the comedy club that I used to go to all the time. So when I walked in there and I talked to them, they hired me immediately. They didn't even see me cut hair yet.
Okay.
Like they was like, yo, bro, all right, yo, you come back 2 days, you can start. And then I'm working at that spot, and then it was like some celebrities that used to come in there too. So it was a good spot to be in. So for me, it was cutting hair, and it was comedy, cutting hair, comedy. So the transition wasn't that bad. It was just a little stressful when I got down to 6,000, then down to 4,000. I was like, all right, let me make sure I get some money because I'm not trying to go broke.
Now, how long did it take you to build up the clientele in California?
It wasn't long because I was an East Coast dude, and they was like, yo, bro, you can cut. They was like, you can actually cut. Okay. So it was a while ago, but I went in there smoking. Like I started developing clients pretty quick because I could cut and my personality. Okay. Because like I've always been the funny dude in the shop and everything, and always I would talk to other people's clients and just talk to everybody. Right. I was always open with everybody, so it would attract people to me. Like, yo, man, and it was back then. I think it was only like 5 of us or whatever in the shop. So it was pretty easy for me to get clients, bro. It was pretty easy.
Especially in LA, I would think somewhere next to a comedy club. I'm sure that you going to the comedy club, you're making connections there too. So I'm sure, and then some of the comics coming in, and then you might have some name comics coming in, like D-Ray might come in. Tony Rock will come in there. Back then, man, back then, JB Smooth, JB Smooth. Like these were some of the people I was cutting. Dave Chappelle used to come in there, but my man Rod used to cut him. But then he would come to me if Rod was there. So you had some name comedians coming in there, so it would make people, because people like to go to the dude that's cutting the celebrity. Right. Hey, my clippers touched the same head as Mike Epps. You know what I'm saying? He did Mike Epps and did mine, right. So that funniness wore off on me. Yeah, I know.
So
Mike, that's my man. We got the same.
Yeah, right, exactly. I see him in the shop. So it's like people like to come to the person that's cutting celebrities. So, but even regardless of the celebrities, it was just, for me, it was the personality, and I could cut because they was like, yo, we could tell you ain't from here. We could tell you're an East Coast dude that you cut better. Okay.
So let me ask
you that was it.
A question about the personality difference, man, because I know that same personality.
What up, Katie?
That same personality that you was able to comfortably be in the barbershop had to be significantly different once you was in that corporate world, right?
Not really. I mean, because I'm a jokester, like a little bit. I mean, just a little bit, because I'm gonna have fun in whatever environment I'm in. But in the corporate world, like we was making phone calls, we was recruiting, getting people jobs. So we're in the phone constantly, bling, 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 bling. It was, you ever seen that movie Boiler Room? Absolutely. With Ben Affleck and him? It was kind of like that type of environment. So it was like a boiler room, young macho men, a lot of white men, and then a few of us blacks sprinkled around there. You got the women in there, whatever. And then the boss of the office was a black dude. I was like his go-to black dude. So it was like, it was a macho, fun, young man environment. Like if you was 26 in that office, you was old. you was old because we was all young, and it was just, and so it was the same. It was just some things being who I am. I wasn't privy to all the information.
Right.
You know, it might be one or two dudes, hey man, you know, that give me some of the information, but it was I was always me.
Right. Okay.
Was this shop the same shop that you guys started doing the YouTube skits in, or the Vine skits in?
The first shop wasn't. The second shop was. I only worked in 2 barbershops out here. The second shop, I went over there in 2006. That's when we started doing the videos.
Okay. What's up, Jeezy?
What up,
man? Y'all
360, my boy.
Yes, sir.
Y'all got some same videos, bro.
Man, look, I looked at the video the other day, y'all, and when you jogging with the hand was dripping down.
Yeah.
Boy, I lost. I lost.
And you know what? And you know, man, here's the secret to comedy, bro. Like, I just did that video. I always say 360 is a younger, better looking version of me, and just his brain. I love 360's brain because he has a good mind. I remember I talked to him, and 360. One thing I like about him, people see all the glitz and glamour, but the motherfucker hustles.
Right.
Like, he hustles his ass off. 360 tell you, I don't go out, I don't club, I don't do none of that stuff. But with that video, man, the crazy thing about comedy, relatability is more important than funny. You know, relatability is more important than funny. So that's like one of the keys to comedy. And I had just started that sketch. I was like, I was waiting for my next client. I was like thinking, and then it just came to me like the drip. And then I had some stuff. I had, damn, I forgot that black stuff that I use sometimes. And I had that. And I did a test run. This is what people don't know. I did a test run on my head and wiped it off because I wanted to make sure it wasn't going to stain my head. So I'm like, I know I got a couple seconds.
Right.
So I went outside. I did it real quick. And if you look at the video, you see I got the towel in my hand. Like I did a zoom and it was dripping. Then I jogged. As soon as I finished, cut it off and then wiped it off. And next thing you know, shoot, Barbershop Connect put that thing on there. It's like at 100 and some thousand. Barbershop Connect on my page is doing good. But it's an 8 to 9 second video.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's relatable.
Right.
And relatability is more important than funny, because even when we would do some funny videos and we try to do outside the box, like I remember I thought it was gonna do good. I created this character called Hairdini that was like just like Hairdini was just and I'm like, yo, this video gonna kill. It's gonna kill, but it did okay. But the people couldn't relate to it. But the video about you think the client coming to you and he bypassed you and go to the next barber, that video get tons of views because they can relate to that, or the client with the stinky breath or the barber with the stinky breath, they can relate to that. So the relatability outweighs
also
the fun.
Help to have Earthquake in the video.
Oh yeah.
With the stinky fingers, bro, that shit was hilarious.
Yeah, and Earthquake. And when I edited that video, I was like, Earthquake is so dope. Earthquake did that video in one take. And we shot it, and then I said, yo, Earthquake, do the voiceover. And then he just, and he, you know, he does Earthquake. And then he just one take. And that's the video okay, here's one thing I want to say. Because sometimes I listen to myself and I'm like, I got to drop a jewel. People ask me about my YouTube page, how did you get it popping? And I tell everybody, consistency is the key. Consistency is the key, and you never know what's going to make you pop. Example, we were doing 15-second videos I put on my YouTube page, and they were growing a little bit. They were growing, right? But then, I don't know if y'all follow Kevin on stage. Kevin Feder, like Kevin, that's when he was working at All Dep Digital.
Yeah,
Kevin said, yo, G, y'all doing the funny videos. We doing a contest of people that create content but aren't really known. We're doing a contest to see who has the best videos, right? So then when Kevin told me that, I said, and I've never thought about doing a compilation, right? So I went home, I'm like, how can I do this video? He said he wanted about 3 minutes. I said, all right, well, let me add the 15, we dropped my minute. I was like, let me add the 15-second videos to make a 3-minute video, right? So when we did that, that's when it took off. That video took off, and on YouTube, I was getting like, it took off on YouTube. We ended up winning a contest with them, and I was probably getting about 2,000 subscribers a day. Yeah. And that's how my page went from 500 to like a shitload of people.
Yeah.
And it was all because of Kevin was like, yo, do this contest. And that made my page go up. But I was consistent in what I was doing.
Right. So as you continue to grow, you know, you tapped in doing the, you know, cutting celebrities. You know, you're in that arena where you're doing the comedy. So how did that come about? Were you just consistent with cutting hair and just being in the comedy realm?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, cutting hair during the day, you leave barbershop at 7 o'clock, go straight to the comedy club, or 6 o'clock, go straight to the comedy club. Like, it was the comedy club I can walk to. And I would just go over there and do the open mics. And then, you know, you start to get around, people start to see that you're funny. And with comedy, you just continue to go. And you go in different places and all that stuff. And then next thing you know, some of your idols become your friends. Tony Rock was one of the dudes I had on my, before I moved out to California, I had him on my wall. Like, I literally had him and other comics on my wall. And next thing you know, we run into each other on some random stuff. And next thing you know, I'm going on the road with him. He the godfather of my first daughter, and godfather of my first daughter, and actually named my second daughter. And it was like, yo, the people who were on my wall, and there was a couple other ones, they ended up being my friends, man. So it's like, you never know, man. You put it out there in the universe, bro. Like, that stuff is real. You put it out there in the universe, and you never know what's gonna come about, man. But the key is just 2 generations from now, ain't none of us gonna be remembered. I don't give a damn what we do. Definitely 3 generations. Like, man, any of us on this platform.
I disagree.
You don't think so? Go.
Hell no.
Go.
As much as I plan to give to the people that come around me, as much as I plan to love on the people in my life, absolutely fucking not. No, I refuse to accept that.
This is what I say. People would know, like, we know about Henry Ford, right? But we ain't thinking about Henry Ford. You know what I'm saying? Like Henry Ford was loved by the people in his lifetime. Like, he was loved by his kids. He was loved by his parents, and maybe even his grandchildren knew him and loved him to a certain extent. But that's, to me, that's where it stopped. Like, the name goes on. I agree with that. The name goes on, but the people that really love you and think about you on a day-to-day basis, I'll say like 2 generations, that's gone. Like my daughters love me to death. My parents, my mother, she died, rest in peace. But my father loves me to death. My father, brother love me to death. My daughter's gonna love me to death. Hopefully I'm around for my grandchildren. Hopefully they'll love me to death. But after my grandchildren, their kids, they won't know who the hell I am.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? From that perspective. Like, I'm saying, from the people that really count in your life, that think about you all the time, they're going to be gone. Now, if your legacy could be around for people like I just said, Henry Ford, where we remember him, that's cool. But the people that can stop you from living your dream, that's what I'm saying. Those are the people that they're not going to be around. Like, the people that tell you you can't do it and you care about their opinion, they're not going to be around.
Those intimate shit.
So
I also think
maybe my word usage was a little wrong, but
no, you absolutely right, and I understand, especially now that you've explained. I understand what you mean by that, and I agree. Eventually, yeah, the people who were keeping your memory alive won't be around to keep it alive.
Right.
They'll try their best to keep it alive, but once you start to try to teach the history to somebody who's so far removed from it, it's not relatable no more. So I definitely understand that.
The youngsters think Paul George is the GOAT. Melo's son think Paul George is the GOAT.
Missy Elliott is part of history, bro. They don't know how recent she is.
Right.
So I get it. I totally get it. But I think in that statement too, it made something clear to me. It's you know, everybody has something they say when somebody says something like, well, there's 2 types of people in this world, right? It's 2 types of people in this world. And it could be anything relatable to the conversation, right? In the sense of that conversation, I think there's 2 types of people in this world. You got the people who accept that information, know that to be a truth, and they live their life according to that truth. You have the people who also know that truth, and they live their life trying to debunk it. They live their life trying to be the exception to that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I have a question for you.
I got an answer.
So currently, how do you balance your day? Are you in a suite? Cutting, how
You
do
don't
you
see
balance?
this photo runway? That man got a whole photo runway to the bull, bro.
Yeah.
And he
And also,
be putting that shit on. Let me say that from the top of him, putting it on.
how much are you cutting? You know, with the traveling and
Oh, I'm cutting like Tuesday through Saturdays.
okay.
Usually like 9:30 to about 7. On Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, about 9:37. Wednesday, 9:30, leave at 1 to go get my daughters. And then weekends like 9:30 to 4.
Okay.
So I'm cutting pretty much. And then like I don't get out at the comedy clubs as much because then I come home and I might work on my product line and stuff like that. But I try cause okay, when I say I don't get out to the comedy clubs much, to me 2 times a week isn't getting out a lot.
Okay.
Like I was to do like 6-7 days a week. I'm in the comedy club.
Okay.
So for me, and that might be why I don't have a relationship right now. It's like it's you know, man, because hey man, women need time.
I hate how you casually said that shit. Like everybody
yeah. You know, I have friends, but like women need time, man. And it's like sometimes like it's crazy, man. Because sometimes I would want. Here's some deep shit. Like I would want and desire the love and everything, but then sometimes it's like what I know I have to put into it. I don't really want to put into it, which is sad, and that's why like it got to be a woman that really wows me because
I think that's a very honest thing to know about yourself, though. That's a very honest place to be with yourself. Yeah,
it is, man. Because like I was married for 5.5 years. And it's like I know what it takes to be in a relationship.
Right.
I can give you weekends. You know what I'm saying? I can give you weekends, but or I can give you Monday when I got off. I can give you a Monday. But then sometimes, man, and this is the detriment of me. Sometimes like I'll get into like I'll get distracted by a relationship and not go hard as I usually go.
Ooh, say that again.
I'll get distracted in a relationship and not go as hard as I usually go because go ahead.
That's probably one of the biggest under-discussed topics in barbering. If we want to be totally honest, you got guys, they're gonna talk about enhancements, they're gonna talk about price, they're gonna talk about booth rent versus commission. They're gonna talk about what's the best clipper. They're gonna talk about what's the best marketing strategy for clipper companies and small brand companies and large brand companies. Nobody wants to talk about how difficult it is to be a barber and be a family man at the same time. Nobody wants to talk about the struggle. Everybody will tell you, you just gotta find and maintain balance. Well, what is that? What does that look like when my ambition is opening doors for me, but the more ambitious I am, the less productive in my family I am. The more productive in my family I am, the less ambitious I can be with business. Nobody wants to talk about that, man.
Yep. And you know, I don't know if y'all watch the Pivot podcast.
Absolutely.
Ryan Clark Ryan Clark said something that was so dope, but I was watching that. He struggles with it. And it's obvious because, you know, as a player, Ryan Clark was good, but he was on the schedule. But now you see Ryan starting to blow up, and he's like, his family time, you could tell, is lacking. And he's trying to do something. And man, and I know that's what, like, here's some real shit nobody will say. Nobody will say this. I love my daughters to death. I spend time with them. They everything to me. I got life insurance. so you know, they taking care of when we together, like we have a great time. But the schedule that I have them on, not being an everyday dad there, is okay with me because I do other stuff. But when I love them and when I'm with them, I love them, and they never feel unloved.
Right.
Absolutely.
Because we talk every day, and when we do stuff, you know, we're doing stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I did. Marriage was cool and everything, but for me, like seeing them, like, because I make sure, like, I'm seeing them like 4 times a week.
Right.
Sometimes it's longer, sometimes it's shorter. But that schedule isn't bad for me.
Right.
Some people might say it's selfish, and everything. But as long as they know that they the #1 priority for me and everything, and they know that I pour everything back into them. Like, I hope they listen, like, because they act like they ain't listening, but you know how kids are. So I'm hoping that they listening. I think they will, but it's like I'm okay with how things are.
Now,
also too, it's not considered. If you can, bro, can you make sure that you pin in some of these comments? Because I was trying to pin a comment when it kicked me out. I can't do it on my end, but it's some dope comments being left in here with people.
Oh damn! I haven't even been looking at them. Damn.
I was looking. I ain't see nothing in the question, and I wasn't even paying no attention. I'm listening too. Go.
Yeah, but definitely. What I would say though, man, I'm glad that somebody of your caliber, somebody with your prestige, can come on here and be that honest and that transparent, because that's one thing that helps guys like myself. I'm very, very new to the barbering industry. I've only been in this industry for 5 years, coming up on 6 years.
Okay.
I've been over blessed. I didn't want to shop. I didn't even want to be a barber in a shop. I just wanted something to purchase back some of my time, because I thought barbering was going to be my escape from traditional work, where I can spend more time with my family, more time with my daughter. I had just had a baby at the time. Mm-hmm. And once I got in this, I fell in love with it, and the floodgates opened up, man. I mean, barbershop, barbers, teaching opportunities, cutting opportunities, flying here and there. And it's like, dude, I never would have imagined any of this. So getting back to what you were saying, man, a lot of times I never considered how much of your energy is depleted throughout a week because of what you're doing. Being in the field of servicing people, I would say that, right? Being in the field of servicing people, a lot of you is deposited into everybody else, right? So once you get done depositing so much of yourself throughout the week into everybody else, and then on top of that, I would imagine for somebody like yourself, it's even more because you have a sense of humor.
Right.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of energy to be funny, but also be received. Right. To be receptive, but also not be offensive. Like it takes a lot of energy to consider all those micro things that go into that, right? In addition to providing superior customer service, in addition to providing superior skill set with what you're doing with your clippers, being punctual, being a professional, being your own HR person, doing your own research, doing your own sourcing of new clientele, establishing and maintaining the clientele that you do have. By the time you've given so many elements of yourself away, when you get home, it doesn't matter how much you love your family, because believe me, bro, I love my family to death. Right? Some days I still get home and I gotta tell my daughter, my 5-year-old daughter, listen, baby, I love you to death, but I need like an hour. Give me like an hour. I just gotta sit still and recharge, because my cup, I've poured so much of my cup out throughout the day or the week that there's nothing left for me, and I don't want to rob you because I don't have nothing left at all. Right. And anybody who will tell you that they understand that will be lying to you if they tell you that don't make them feel like the biggest piece of shit in the world. Absolutely. That's there's part of this barber that not enough people talking about. Bro.
Yeah. Hey, Shai, somebody had a question on here. Styles dot Panacci or something.
Panacci, Styles Panacci, yeah.
Okay. Says, do you feel your career is a way that you give back or calling /service?
Say it again.
Says, do you feel your career is a way that you give back or a calling /service?
Both. For me, both.
Could you answer that?
Yeah.
Gary?
I didn't really understand the question.
Right.
That's
what I wanted them to
pin it to the bottom so we can see it. Press it and hold it, and it'll come up with a little pin.
Yeah, sometimes I might need to, but you said something for me now. The energy, like when you say being funny and all that stuff, that to me that's nothing. That's easy. Now, I do agree with you, like the HR and all that stuff. That could be some of the energy right there. But that's one reason why, hey man, when you hit over 40, I don't like being at the comedy clubs as much, hanging out all night, because I'm getting up at 5:15 in the morning to go to the gym, and it's like, bro, I'm not I'm not the out all night dude like the way I was.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Oh, okay. Do you feel your career is a way that you give back or a calling service?
/service.
I think it's a little bit of both, like you said. I mean, because we're definitely, as barbers, we're definitely giving back to the people. Like sometimes I don't even know if we really realize how valuable we are.
Right.
You know, like we really are valuable to the people, but to us, it's just normal because it's what we do.
Right.
Now, okay, that's given. Now the calling and service, I think all of us somehow, I know I was called to by my older brother cutting his own hair. You know, like I didn't, that's the thing. Like for me, it wasn't, I didn't plan on being a barber. And then even my father was cutting hair in high school and giving us messed up haircuts in the kitchen when we were kids. You know, I wanted I wanted a flat top. He gave me the unicorn haircut. So it's like, so it's like, I agree with you, dog. I'll say it's both, man. I'll say it's both.
I think it could be what was her name?
Styles Fernandez. She one of my friends.
Okay.
Styles. Yeah. I think that for a lot of people it can be either or, right? Because you do have people, just like in any other field of business, right? You have people who always maintain business is business, and they don't compromise that, right? Everything is 9 to 5. This is business. And they keep their emotions out of it. They isolate business to business, and they leave their emotions for elsewhere.
Right.
I think it's very, very difficult, depending on your characteristic traits, depending on who you are as a person, to do that with barbering, because you're dealing with people directly. You're not dealing with people through a computer screen or through an application process or a real quick transaction. These are realistically 35 to 45-minute relationships that rotate. Oh, right?
Yes.
And in a lot of cases, 35 to 45 minutes. You know, one of the biggest things that shocked me when I became a barber, how impactful 35 to 45 minutes.
Absolutely, bro.
My mind.
Absolutely.
Mind, because you never really train yourself to, or condition yourself to think that something that's short can really have any impact.
Right.
Yep.
Dude, my right hand to Jesus Christ, bro. My right hand to Jesus Christ. I have a friend right now. I met him in that barber chair sitting right across from this camera.
Mm-hmm.
Right? 35 to 45 minutes. That man is now the godfather to my daughter.
Yeah.
I'm the godfather to his
Right.
first. When I'm in the shop, his wife or he'll come by and come pick my daughter up. Do you understand? Like, we met in a barber shop.
Right.
I've been knowing him for 1 year, maybe a year and a half. And it's to the point where our families are connected, not just him and I, through this exchange of a service. We connected like this. When things are going on, I know I can call on him. When he's going, he know he can call on him. And it's different.
I got
I'm sorry.
Client that sent me something the other day, man. He's an actor, and he's been on like some of the 50 Cent shows.
Okay.
And bro, he sent me a video because what you speak of, I agree. And this is something that you don't even realize. You might forget that you told somebody something. He sent me a video because I got a gun, and I did a funny video about, you could tell new gun owners because they walk around their house surveillance. Like that's like I'm walking around my house. I was a new gun. I'm walking around the house like ain't nobody there, you know. Like, but and then he saw the video and he sent me a video. He said, Garrick, man, he said, hey bro, anytime you want to go to gun ranges on me. He said, you saved my marriage. He said, you saved my marriage. I was about to fuck up and make some mistakes, but you're the one that helped me. You saved my marriage, so I got you. I owe you at the gun range. Whenever you want to go, let me know. And then one day he just cashed out me out the blue. Hey, lunch is on me. I honestly don't remember talking to him about. I kind of remember a little bit, but I don't remember. And I'm like, it was so impactful. And as y'all go along, y'all probably experience this as a barber. When you're talking to your clients, they'll tell you something that you told them, like, yo, man, you helped me out. You're like, I don't even remember telling you that.
I said that. I must have known one that day. I don't remember saying that.
You don't even remember. And that's crucial, man. Like, that's crucial. And
that's
so, like,
beautiful part of barbering.
Part of the genuineness that exists within people, right? I think those kind of experiences, those kind of things happen to people who are genuine people.
Yeah.
Because the reason you can't remember what you said, I want everybody to understand that. The reason anybody in that situation wouldn't remember what they said is because it wasn't rehearsed. It came from a genuine place.
Yeah.
Me and somebody who was having a conversation was having a needed conversation, and I was giving my genuine advice.
Yeah.
He was giving his genuine advice, his genuine experiences, and it stuck with, man, you, like you said, bro, you'd be surprised how much stuff, the simplest things can change the whole direction of somebody else's life, but also can change yours. It can change the direction of your life.
Sometimes they're like I always say, we're their therapists. Like we got therapy degrees and don't even know it. Like we literally had therapy. I was talking to my therapist one time, and like with my ex-wife, I wasn't blaming her. Like he said, man, I think you don't give yourself enough credit. He said, I've listened to you and you never blame her. You took the onus for your relationship not working out. I said, well, I think that's common. He said, no, that's not common. He said, he said, I'm a therapist. A lot of people blame the other. And I looked back and I said, the only reason why I'm like that because I've had dudes sit in my chair that I'm like, my man cheating on his wife every chance that he get. But then if she do something, oh man, I can't believe she did that to me. I'm like, bro, you don't know what you was like. I've never wanted to be that guy because so many people that sit in my chair blame everybody else, but they don't take the onus on themselves. And like I said, I've been doing this since 12 years old. So I got high school, knowing who was sleeping with who and keeping secrets. Like I got all that in me. So you naturally, I tell women that I deal with, I tell them, one thing Gary Dixon knows, I know men. I understand men because ever since I was 12 years old, I know as barbers, we get the deepest, darkest secrets. I mean, I'm in a suite now. I've had dudes, I've had dudes cry on my chair. We hug it out. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I know men, bruh. Like
you had somebody on your live last week, man, who I would love to listen to another conversation with you and that guy. His name is Suge.
Oh yeah, Suge. Yeah, Suge. Yeah.
Suge is probably outside of the Confess Project, right? Suge is one of the biggest advocates in barbering that I personally know that pushes for more guys to be more connected to their clients and allow your barber chair to be more than just a surface level outlet. Allow it to be an internal outlet as well, because some people need that, man. You like you just said, you as a man know how to recognize abused, battered, broken men.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of times we get in contact with abused, battered, broken, or about to be broken men, and they don't know how to open up. But as men, we've been trained and conditioned by society to not even allow the door to look like it can be open.
Yeah.
So as a broken, battered man or about to be battered man sitting in a chair, you got to think that the person servicing and being able to observe this, but not allow it to be an outlet for it, you broken and battered yourself, potentially.
Yep. And then sometimes, bro, we gotta put our own agenda aside. Absolutely. Like for example, like I have a lot of sports on in my shop in the background, Fox Sports or ESPN. And sometimes I don't feel like talking to my clients. Like I want to watch the Pivot podcast, or I want to watch KG and them. You know what I'm saying? I want to watch Shannon Sharp. And I feel like saying, man, shut the hell up. I'm trying to watch it. You know what I'm saying? But then I'm like, I'll have that client to come in and I know he wanted to talk. And I'm like, God damn, man. Or we might be watching the comedy special and I'm trying to watch that. But then I said, hey, Garrett, he needs to talk. Right. Like you can't, like he might live by himself and he don't really have many people to talk to. And he wants to come here and converse with you and be honored that he wants to talk to you. Absolutely. So, hey, man, you can pause the Shannon Sharp or that's background or the Mike Epps special or the Pivot podcast. You can turn the volume down and watch that later on. But this man right here, that brother needs you, and you don't know how much he needs you. So take your own agenda and put that off to the side, bro.
I love that, bro. That's, to me, that's why when we had that comment earlier You know, you're not gonna be remembered. That's that mindset right there. That's why I feel like I know I will for a long time. It won't be forever, right? It's gonna die out. But because of that, and because that to me is something that I hold real close, man, real close. Like I know for a fact that I put a lot of attention and paying attention, actively paying attention to the people that's coming into my environments wherever I am. That's not just limited to the barbershop. I mean, that's wherever I go. I'm actively paying attention to the energy that's around me for multiple reasons. Protection, because I might have my family with me. Right? Of course, I'm the end. I gotta protect it, right? But if I'm by myself or with my family, I'm also looking to see where's the next opportunity to make a human connection.
Yeah. Can I say one thing real quick?
Go ahead.
And this is easier said than done. It's, you know what, man, one of the keys to life is we have to live in the moment. I mean, that's, you know, that like, that's so real. Like the moment that I'm having right now is with you two guys. Mm-hmm. We all got families. You know what I'm saying? We all got friends. I love my kids. Y'all love your kids to death and everything. But right now, the most important thing to me right now is you two. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm connected in this moment. So it's like, even like I said, sometimes I don't feel like talking to the clients, but I'm talking to them. If we can live our lives in whatever moment that we're in, and we're connected in that moment and not thinking about the future or the past, your life will be way more beneficial. Right. Now, like, you know, because sometimes I got to take my own advice. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you might be with your girl or your lady friend and you might be watching or thinking of something else. But it's like whatever moment you're in as a person and you're really in that moment and locked in, right. That's very important, man, because people can sense that and people can feel that. And it's just, and also it fulfills you as a person to wherever you are, that you are completely locked in. Athletes do that. That's why I love athletes do that, bro. Athletes lock in the moment.
Absolutely. You have to, because time is one of those things also that you don't get back.
Yeah.
And a lot of absolutely. So when you're in that moment, it's extremely important to cherish that moment.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I like what Gary said about not only should you recognize when somebody's opening up to you, but you should be honored that they are. You should be honored. It should be something that's a very, very, very big privilege to be the person that, especially if you don't have an already established foundational relationship with somebody, and they still see you as somebody that's worthy to hear what's really going on in their life. Mm-hmm. They're reaching out to you opposed to reaching out to somebody else or anybody else. Or I said this in an episode a little while ago. I had a guy, and this speaks more to understand that no matter how connected you can become to people, or no matter how much you try to put your best foot forward to be an assistance to people, or a ladder for people, whatever the case may be, you can do the best that you can. This is my hard lesson in learning that I'm going to share with you, right? You can do the best that you can, but you need to also understand that some things, it's inevitable. There's nothing you can do about it. You do your best, you put your best foot forward, and then you accept
that a watch is the only time you can buy.
That's it.
Absolutely.
I say that, and I learned that lesson this way, right? So I went to a school, I had barber school, right? Barber school was super dope. It was super dope. It was dope because it was terrible. Like, it was poorly like, it wasn't no structure. There was no curriculum. Like, we came in and pretty much you figured it out, right?
Yeah,
you hit
like
the ground.
Barber schools, yeah.
I'm running. You got you some taper 2000s, and them jokers got hot as fish grease, and you had to figure it out, right? Well, in an environment like that, there's so many different personalities that come in an environment. Gratefully for me, I came into barbering at an older, more mature age. I was already in my 30s when I got into barbering. So I came in, saw what it was. I had worked in corporate America. I had worked 9 to 5 blue collar job. I've done hard labor. I've done all these things. So when I seen that situation, it was like, all right, I need to disassociate myself with the things that's going to be a distraction for me, because I have the personality where I'm going to want to involve myself with those things, but I know that's not conducive to my goal. At this point, I have a child now. It's my firstborn. So I need to focus so that I can get out of here and be a provider, right? Boom. Fast forward. Going through barber school, I met so many different people, and majority of the time, they were a lot younger than me, right? I met this one gentleman, man, this guy. I'm not going to say his name for respect of his family, right? I met a guy in barber school, and he was young, ambitious, full of life, but he always had this energy that was just empty about him. Like something was missing, but it wasn't something missing physical. Something internal was missing. So this goes to paying attention and doing everything you can. For whatever reason, I went to the school. Once I got out of barber school and I started cutting hair professionally, I would always go back to the school because that was where I got my bones. So, I would go and check in, give any information I could give, and, see how the owner is doing or whatever, long story short. This last time I went in, this kid was there. He was still in school. Now, we've all met people that's kind of in school, out of school.
Yeah.
They come, and then you don't see them for months, and then they come back. He was one of them guys, but it wasn't for lack of effort. I think life was just life for him, right? I'm getting ready to leave. I just sat there and I didn't talk, and it was kind of, the same condition of the school, and the conversation I was having with the people in the school is like, well, the reason your environment is what it is because nobody in here is willing to be a leader and take control of it. Nobody in here is willing to be anything more than a chief. It can't be 20 chiefs in the room. Somebody has to be willing to be the Indian. Somebody has to be willing to accept what is the right direction, right? And that engaged him, right? He wanted to talk. As I'm leaving, this kid looks up to me, man. He's like, hey, man, do you mind if I get your phone number, bro? I just want to holler at you. Oh, yeah, say less. Now, I know you, but we've never talked on the phone, right? Like, say less. Give him my phone number. That same night, he called me, man, and he opened up. He opened up, bro. This dude is having thoughts of suicide. He's going through all kind of stuff at home. He has no outlet, to the point where a lot of us can associate emotionally barbering being our outlet for life. He was going through so much life at a time that he was going through it that it had robbed him of that. Barbering wasn't an outlet no more. He had nothing, right? And I think in a lot of ways he was possibly, as we do as men, right, especially young men, in a lot of ways we continue to get in our own way trying to fix things that sometimes you got to put that in God's hand and you got to let it go. You got to put it in God's hand and get out of the way. But that's a very mature thought. It's a very mature thought. Talked to him for a few hours. Talked to him the next day. Finally convinced him to check himself into a mental hospital just to get some actual help, because trying to handle that kind of trauma by yourself isn't healthy. It's not. It's not. If you know where you are in your mind and in your heart, it's time, right? Unfortunately, I can't reach out and help you the way that you need it because I don't have a background in that. But I do think that something could help you, right? So let's try to do that. So I stayed on him about it. He called me that morning and he was excited. Man, I finally signed up to Rolling Hills. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna check myself in and I'm gonna figure this thing out. I appreciate you. I'm still but I got a job interview and I'm gonna go do this. And I didn't hear nothing else from him. Maybe a week after that, somebody told me to kill himself.
Oh, dang.
And
damn.
I took that real hard, bro. I took that extremely hard because I felt like that attempt to reach out I felt like I failed him, right? And I took it personal. I internalized it.
Yeah.
And it robbed me of my clients, it robbed me of my family, it robbed me of myself because I internalized it so much. Also, I'm a Pisces and I'm an empath-esque. So anything that deals with emotions, I internalize. That's my natural disposition to internalize. Well, it took for my wife to tell me that she's over and over, Thank God for my support system, right? You can't hold on to that because some things you can't control. Just like you tell people to put it in God's hand and let God handle it. This is a time when you got to do it too, because you can hold on to this for the rest of your life. And when you look up, all those things that you thought you had to be gone because you'll stop focusing on them.
Yeah.
So I share that story not to bore nobody, not to bring the mood down, but just to really, really, really stress the importance of put your best foot forward, offer as much as you can to people emotionally and physically, but know when enough is enough. Understand where your cup is. If your cup is empty, you can't help anybody. You can't. You're not in the position to help if your cup is empty.
Mm-hmm.
And also understand that some things are inevitable. You can't change them. You can't control them. You can't outwork God. It's just like trying to lose weight and eating McDonald's every day. You cannot outwork God.
Right. I would have felt the same way as you.
Yeah.
I would have felt the same way. I would have felt the same way as you. I get it.
Yeah.
Damn. When you said that, damn. How old was he?
He was 24, I want to say.
Damn.
Yeah, he was young, man. He was young. And I mean, just bursting at the seams with talent, bro. Just he was one of them people. Whatever he touched, he can do. Like whatever he touched, he can do. If he put his energy to it, he can achieve it.
He didn't even realize it either.
No,
he didn't realize.
Man.
He didn't realize.
Mm.
Yeah.
So let me yeah, that was heavy. And I again, but just to take that all in, as we talked about your products earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you inform us like what products you have? Also, how we can go about accessing those.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
What made you?
Steven Sample here. Steve is one of the people that use. Okay, so I got a leave-in conditioner, curl moisturizer hair, leave-in conditioner, hair oil, miracle oil for your hair and beard, beard butter for your beard as well. A lot of people don't know beard butter is for under, like the skin, so you won't get those white blemishes and all that stuff. The beard oil, the miracle oil is for on top for the shine and everything. Make it smell good. They both kind of have the same purposes. One's for under the skin, one's for on top of the skin. Then I have shampoo and conditioner. It's for our type of hair, 4A, 4B, or 4C. A lot of people don't know that there's different hair types. 4A, curly, 4B, a little more curlier, 4C being the most curly, being quote unquote kinkier type hair. And there's different ways that you take care of that hair. Like 4C type hair type, a lot of people don't know. Wash it once a week. Wash it once a week. You don't need to wash it as much. Or 4C hair type, you need to use more conditioner and more oil on your scalp because your hair can dry your scalp out. You know, some people with 4C hair type, after 2 days, they flaking and all that stuff. People with 4A, 4B hair type, you only need to do it once, maybe twice a week. So I have it for those products. Got a facial soap that clears the blemishes, the acne, makes your skin soft to smell good. A comb and a brush, beard comb and a hairbrush. And they all on my
package, like all-inclusive package.
Yeah. I have all that. Yeah, I have different packages. I'm sorry, I have different packages. It's Dixon1737.com. Somebody said ultra firm. Somebody said Dixon1737.com. But like I said, I had different packages, the prime time hair grooming packages and everything. Then I got the ultimate package. I got a beard grooming package. Just different packages, or they can buy individually. Dixon1737, Dixon 1737.com.
That's what's up.
Hey, you know something I admire about you just listening to you right now? My bad, Aj.
That's
now, one time since you've been on this podcast, have you associated or minimized? I'm going to say minimized. Now, one time have you minimized your business by saying black-owned business?
Oh, yeah.
I admire that about you, man. I don't know if a lot of people pay attention to that, but I pay attention to that. I admire that about you because, yeah, that's a whole other thing. Go ahead, bro.
Hey, look. Hey, the only time I say black-owned business is when the store's like, hey, man, we need some more black-owned businesses. and then I'm like, yeah, we black-owned. We black-owned. Yeah. But other than because honestly, really, the only product that's really just for us is the leave-in conditioner. Like with my leave-in conditioner, I mean, I do have some Mexican dudes that use it with straight hair as well, but for the most part, it's for our hair type. But the hair oil, the beard oil, the beard butter, the soap and shampoo, everybody can use that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Everybody can use that. And then we also know with the dollars, if everybody using it, that's more green, you know, that's more money. But you know what, man, I appreciate you for your kind words, and I appreciate you for even noticing that, because sometimes you don't even notice what you're saying.
Right.
But until somebody else says it. So I really appreciate you for saying that, because sometimes people want to hold things in and don't want to tell other brothers and give them kudos. So thank you for that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So when you created the hair care line, right, was that a way to also create that legacy, and once you put the clippers down, or maybe not cut as much, still a form of income through the barbering arena or the hair care arena?
No, so, some of our best victories in life are going to come from other people. Like sometimes our best victories in life come from other people. I
wasn't ready for that one.
Yeah. One more time. Sometimes our best victories in life, ooh, that is nice, come from other people.
It's hard.
Like, and I didn't even think about that. Wasn't rehearsed. I just said, but like you said, it's genuine, because I don't know if y'all, I still have it, but I have the My Money Makers brand for barbers, which is clothes, hats, all that stuff.
Right.
When I created the My Money Makers, like I didn't put like, okay, I mean, and this is no knock at all, but he actually used it both ways, so it's almost a bad example. Like Rob the Original, I like the way he got the original. He has his name, but no, that's a bad example. I can't use that. But like, I'm not going to sell something with my name. Hey, I'm Derek Dixon. Like when I created the clothing line, my thought was, how can I create something that people can wear, barbers can wear, that would put more money in their pockets?
Right.
So that's why I made it My Money Makers, and you see the clippers, comb, and shears, because I wanted it to where you wear the shirt, and it was important for me. Like, let me make some of the Master Jordans. You know, you got to do that, like, because, you know, brothers going to think about hats, shoes, all that stuff. So I was like, let me create something where you two guys can earn an income. If you're in a grocery store, somebody...
That was your brand. Yeah. That's your brand?
Yeah, My Money Makers. Uh-huh.
What about the More Than a Barber? Is that
no, that's not me. That's my man, military. That's the military barber.
Okay, so I understand exactly what you're saying. Now, I get it.
I want it to be when you go to the grocery store, if somebody turn around, they see your shirt. Oh, you're a barber? Yeah. Now you got a client. I'll tell them a $30 investment can bring you $1,400 in 1 year. That's better than the stock market.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So my clothing line, it was doing pretty good. But my man, Dog Man, who's a smart man, he's a dog trainer. He came in the shop. He always talked to me. He dropped knowledge on me because I listened. And he said, when he said, hey, man, you know, if you want to make some real money, man, you know what you do? You want to make some real money? You can sell it. You see you selling at the barbers, but the income is just, you ain't going to make with so much money. But he be talking bad about us. Man, barbers are broke. Barbers ain't got the money. Say, they ain't going to buy you shit. I'm like, man, so anyway, he was like, get a product line. Create a product line. He was like, that way people that are non-barbers can continue to buy your product and you get repeat business. Right. And when he told me that, he said, make it Dr. Faze or something, just make it something, but create a product line. I was like, damn. Somebody said he sound like Ray. He actually does. And I was like, damn, that's dope what he said to me. Right. 10 months later, we having a launch party at the Ha Ha Comedy Club, Dixon 1737. I was gonna name it Dr. Fade at first. Like, you just never know how you're gonna say. I'm like thinking like I got a logo and everything, but Dr. Fade. And it's like, what the fuck? So, but then my ex-girl, her friend was like, work with Coca-Cola. She was like, your last name is Dixon. That's a good name. You should use that or whatever. So it came from Dog Man. Some of our best opportunities, our victories are gonna come from other people. I listened to them and it was smart. And then I went hard. And like I said, 10 months later, I had a launch party. It wasn't me that thought about that. It was Dog Man, but he put it out there for me. And then that made me start to think, legacy, all that stuff, because my mind wasn't thinking that. And we have to listen. We got to listen. Y'all know the saying, we got 2 ears and 1 mouth. So we got to listen, because when somebody says something smart, not everything gonna make sense to you. But damn it, if something does make sense to you, you follow it.
Go.
Absolutely. We said that we said that on the last episode, man, that it does you no good to have all the information and have people pouring into you all the information if you do nothing with it. It's a whole lot of people walking. It's a whole lot of barbers that have the dopest clients in the world, and they don't know it because their clients sit down and pour so much into them as barbers, and they never do anything with it.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't allow those conversations and those life lessons and experiences and advices to leave from beyond that chair.
Yep.
So it does. What we say, Ash, it's only medicine if you
Right.
take it.
Right.
Medicine.
Yeah.
DJ. Right. Yeah, man. For all those who watching, this is the I Cut My Way Out podcast, and we have just tuning in. The Garrett Dixon, man. Yeah, you definitely, man, are you're informing me, man. And that's what I love about this platform, just learning more and going more in depth with people. I know you're well respected just around the board and in our industry as well. One last thing for me, I want to ask you about. In one of your YouTube videos, it was a reel, and you were educating. You were talking about making sure you don't pass up on clients, right? And you talked about opportunities that can open from, and you never know who you may put in your chair. And so you were talking about an opportunity you had with the guy who wrote Blackish. Kind of tell us about how that came about. You said he asked you if you want to go line. You like, man, I don't do no cocaine.
Yeah, I don't do drugs. Yeah. It was like, because I was cutting Kenya back in like 2003, 2004, maybe probably part of 2005. He was on Girlfriends. He was one of the head writers on Girlfriends, and then like Family. Like Kenya, he's dope. And he was a writer on shows and all that stuff. And then I stopped cutting them, but we were still cool. Clients come and go, and we were always cool. And then 2015 or 16, we see each other every now and then. Like you said, he had hit me up. You want to do a line? Hey, bro, I don't do drugs. And then he was like, no, I'm talking about for my show. And he said, he was like, production's going to call you. I said, all right, bet. And I thought normally when productions call you for audition or whatever, so you can come in and audition. And they didn't hit me the next day. And I'm like,
tag that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. So then, and then production didn't call me. So I texted him the next day. I was like, yo, bro, what's up, man? Nobody ever hit me. Am I still good for the part? I have to come in audition. He was like, no, I'm giving you the part. He's like, it's one line. He said, you ain't gonna F that up. It's one line. Come on in. And and I was like, bam. Next thing you know, production called me and was like, hey, you booked it. Come such and such, and sent me the script. And my line was, if it gets real bad, use a little Afrin. That was my one line. If it gets real bad.
I was to see that episode, bro. Because look, this is at this point. First, let me give you a little rundown, right, on how I stumbled to G. I've been knowing you through YouTube before I ever picked up Clippers.
Wow.
That's how short my career of barbering has been. Yeah. I'm still real green in this, man. I'm in love with this culture. Like, I'm in love with it, right? To the point that I was in love with it before I ever had a chance to practice it. So I would watch YouTube videos of Jeezy, Chris Bashio. I was watching Bashio when he was first coming up into YouTube.
Yeah.
Right. I always had a attachment, an attraction to watching barbers cut hair. And then you was the only barber I saw outside of Jeezy that brought humor to it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And you was the only one at all who was doing humor on the scale that you was doing.
Yeah.
Right? The whole shop involved, actors involved, and comedians involved, and some of the baddest women in LA, and some night fighters too. It's been some night fighters in some of them videos. It was all relative to the story. But anyway, so I've been watching it that whole time. So that's how I'm familiar with you. I see you on Instagram. I said, oh, let me follow G because I know he's gonna be funny. At least when I go on my IG, something funny gonna come across my feed eventually, right? So now, fast forward, I'm involved in barbering. I'm in barber school. I'm doing me, right? Man, I'm sitting. My wife is a avid Blackish watcher. You understand? Like, to the point still go back and watch the reruns. She still watch the reruns, Girlfriends. She still watch any show that she like. She gonna watch it forever.
Yeah.
I'm convinced. We still watching. What's the Mayberry show? What's that? Andy Griffith. We still watching.
Yeah.
Griffith from my house. Okay, it's gonna be around. So I'm just sitting in there. You know how you just kind of casually taking in a show with your wife. You're not paying attention. You just casually taking it in. Go to the barbershop. Now it got my attention. I'm like, oh, they got a barbershop scene on it. Cool. And then fucking G come on the TV. I know him, but I don't know him, but I know. Again, this is what I love about this culture, bro. Just the fact that we were practicing the same thing as far as practicing being barbers.
Right.
That's the fact that I know that without ever having a conversation with you, we could relate.
Oh, absolutely.
We could relate to so many things. When I see you on that screen, bro, it was like seeing my cousin or my brother on that damn screen, bro. I was so excited. I'm talking about lit up in the crib, like, yo, hey, I told you wasn't no. So you know the first thing I did was look at my wife, and I told your ass it wasn't no sitting on what you can accomplish with barber. That's a barber. That's not an actor. That's a barber. That's on TV, like a real barber. He on TV. I put up the videos. You remember them videos that kept you up to 2 o'clock in the morning that I've been listening to YouTube loud all night while you're trying to sleep?
So
that's a big thing.
Before I ask this question, with that experience, would you like to do, or is it on your radar to do any acting?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm always, because I done booked a couple commercials and stuff, so I'm always open for that. Okay. The guy willing, I hope, because my phone is almost about to cut off. I might have something. We're gonna see. It's something more barbershop stuff. It's some stuff is in the works right now. Okay. So you know, Hollywood, sometimes it takes time, but we'll see, you know, say a prayer and all that stuff. But I think that it's gonna be more. It's gonna be more. Some things are already shot. We just gotta see what's gonna happen. The strike is over and everything. So we'll see. Okay. We'll see.
Man, all right. You showing us how many things can be accomplished. Man.
Absolutely.
So I can't wait to see.
Absolutely.
So I know your phone about to cut off. You got one quick second to answer a question?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah.
So
if it cut off in the middle, just it's good.
Okay. So it says Coach _ Soul says, can y'all speak on athletes acquiring barbers as their personal barbers? Is this a game changer?
No. I wouldn't say it's a game changer because it's been happening for a long time. Like, I mean, athletes are human beings just like everybody else, and they want barbers too. Now, it's not a game changer. I mean, for me, nothing is a game changer for barbers. Right. Like, because everybody has always used them. Now, what would be a game changer? The next time they went up in space and they was like, yo, we taking a barber up in space and we want him to cut hair while he in the air and we're going to record it and all that stuff. Now, that's a game changer.
Right.
That's a game changer. But
bring the barber on the floor at half.
Yeah. Or something like that. That's a game changer. But other than that, I mean, an athlete, that's been going on. Dr. J probably had the same barber. Right. So now it's not a game changer.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, we go ahead and close us out, Shy. You got that energy going right now.
Hey, man. I'll definitely close us out before his phone down. We want to thank you so much, man, first and foremost, for taking your time to share with us, because not only were you able to provide that time with us, like you said earlier, you was present in this moment and you made this moment the focus, and that can't be understated how much we appreciate that, man. We are definitely at our grassroots, starting out to develop this thing and grow it to make this platform conducive for everybody that comes on. And it takes guys like yourself being transparent and willing to come on and help us lay another brick so that we can build that foundation. So we appreciate that. Anybody that's on, if you don't already follow G, you definitely behind the ball. You need to go ahead and click up top, and you can click down and follow G directly. Make sure you turn on your post notifications, because unlike us, he consistent with his posts, bro.
And look, and I answered. We was talking about that. I said, yo, send me a DM. I'll be on y'all show. Like, I answer. You know, a lot of people don't.
Bro, I seen him on live, and I'm like, damn, this would be a dope ad. Him and Suge talking. I'm like, man, he'll be dope on the podcast. You got to see his energy for yourself tonight. And if you didn't get to see his energy for yourself tonight because you had dookie stains in your eye, you got to go to the YouTube page and you can watch this whole video back in its entirety, and then you can too. You just won't be live with it. See, we got to feel it live. You're going to record the version, but it's all right. It's going to be the same.
Right.
Make sure you go to YouTube and follow, turn on post notifications, and you can see this video in its entirety. But I seen him on live. I was like, man, he going to be dope. He'll be dope. He'll be dope. Just the conversation, he going to be dope. I'm going to shoot a shot because me and Ash, we always play. Like, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right?
Yeah.
Shoot the shot in the DM, and I swear to God, before I set my phone down, he responded back. I'm like, nah, this guy got to be a fake account. This ain't the dude that's on TV that I see down my stream. This can't be, bro. And just kept on conversating, respectful, punctual, kept his word, and did not leave nothing on the table. He came 100% like he said he would. We appreciative, man. We are truly, truly appreciative, and it shows how blessed, giving, and forward this barbering industry actually is. Don't let the news change the narrative because it's bullshit. All you got to do is talk to somebody that's really doing it, and you'll see that they love it just like you do. Your perception of them based on social media is a very small lens. You can never widen that lens if you don't open your mouth and communicate with people. This has been the I Cut My Way Out podcast, and we absolutely love doing this every Wednesday. We came to you on a Monday, so we got to love it, right? If you want more of these double features, make sure you hit the DM and let us know. Also, I didn't forget about everybody that's here waiting for them hat giveaways, right? We are still doing the merch giveaway, but you got to be in tune for the next episode for it, huh? You got to come to the next episode for it. If you haven't signed up and entered for your chance to win that hat, all you got to do is share the post, tag us. That's it.
Right.
Comment done, put a little check mark, you win. You can walk away with free merch. And trust me, like G said, you want merch that's going to speak to what you're doing so it can make money for you. If you walk around with a hat or a shirt or a hoodie that say, I cut my way out, what you think the first question people going to ask you? What that mean? Cut your out of what? You was in Nam? What that mean? Right? So you got to put yourself out there. G, you want to tell them anything before you hang it up?
Nah, man. Hey, I would like one of those hats. I like them. I like them. I saw it was the tan one that y'all had. I like that one. It was the tan one with the black letters.
Okay.
That I like that one. But if anything to close, stay consistent, people. Just stay consistent. Don't be afraid. I know people always, they say live your dream. It's true. You never know what's going to happen. I got a message today in a meeting that could change my whole life. It's something that's going to happen. It could change my whole life. So you just never know. Just keep going, keep building, lay one brick at a time. Next thing you know, you got a whole wall. But consistency is the key. And one more last thing, discipline is more a priority than motivation. Motivation comes and goes, discipline stays. So discipline is everything.
Absolutely.
That's it.
We greatly appreciate it. Or shoot me in the DM, shoot your address, your mailing information. We'll make sure we get that out to you. We greatly appreciate you, man. It's been a pleasure. Man, we keep following you, man, and we greatly appreciate you, bro.
And I'll send that to you within an hour. I'm gonna charge my phone. So
absolutely.
I got you. Appreciate you. All right, y'all. Be easy. Okay.
All right. Appreciate y'all.